It's me. Anyways, I'm just here to talk about a little bit about why I'm kind of a little bit of grace under impending codification, you know? So, anyways, Mom was telling me about how she found these yes on aid sign waivers. They were waving all these little signs that said like yes on aid, parental rights, you know, and then they kind of said the mom says like they just want to support their right to raise their children as naive, social adults, you know. The same sort of trip with one of the Life Journal friends who said that the other sign was like, yes, honey, for religious freedom. What kind of religious freedom? Freedom to tell people who they can or cannot worship, who they can or cannot do in their privacy of their own homes. For that matter, it's just all lies and lies and lies and lies, you know. I can't believe how some people could be so easily bought into those lies that the gays are going to teach their children to learn how to be gay and stuff like that. I never really learned how to be gay, for that matter, let alone how someone learned how to be straight, for that matter. You know. But, anyways, I'm not the only person on YouTube who says that even if Prop 8 passes, it'll get overturned. It'll get overturned because of the whole equal protection clause in the state constitution as well as the federal constitution, the 14th Amendment for that matter. And this could also ruin it for their allies in other states that want to protect marriage. You know, this could basically put all the whole marriage protection amendments on other states to complete halt once Prop 8 passes. And then once how we have the whole lawsuit after lawsuit until one of these lawsuits finally reaches the U.S. Supreme Court, for that matter. And then depending on depending on who Obama, like as I said before, does McCain really have a chance to be elected? I don't think so. For that matter, it's most likely it's going to be Obama. And then as far as that goes, Obama's basically going to appoint all these liberal judges that are so liberal they make Michael Moore look like a suit-wearing conservative. And that would probably make Pat Robertson wish he'd never even gone to that kind of side of the aisle, and wish he never really been part of the Baptist church for that matter. Because then, who knows? There might be such huge investigations on the 700 Club, American Family Association, the Alliance Defense Fund, and all this other stuff that could strip them all of all their funding for that matter. Not because of gay marriage, not because of that, because of their own little selfish little desires of wanting to force everyone to be Christian, force all the atheist, pagans, and other people who will not and cannot worship the same God just because of some insecure people who want to control people for that matter. A lot of those so-called Christian conservative people always tend to bash people like me and say like, oh, why are you so for religious freedom, and then you try to go around and prevent me from expressing my religious freedoms. Well, it's because you just want to force everyone to believe in your religion. There are some people who don't worship your religion, and they will never worship your religion, no matter how much you're going to scare them, or persuade them, or blackmail them, or whatever which ways to get them to bend to your selfish little will, for that matter. I mean, it's the whole thing with interracial marriages, just in comparing the same context, because there were some people who were afraid that the blacks and whites would get married and raise all these interracial children, and wondering what race they're going to raise them as, whether they're going to raise them as a black person or a white person or both. You know, when interracial marriages was legalized, there was still a majority that was against it. And it took almost about 25 years to have a majority of people who support interracial marriages. I figure 20 years from now, when gay marriage is legalized at some point, we're still going to look back at this and wondering what the big deal is with gay marriage in the first place. What the big deal is about denying two people who want to get married. You know, just as much as we look back at ban on interracial marriages, or segregation for that matter. I mean, the whole segregation, to me, was just simply a bunch of paranoid white people who were afraid of blacks, and they just want to put them in their proper places, so to speak. Going around having them drink from a separate fountain because they're afraid to catch some germs from black people or something. You know. The thing is, I don't really understand why does some people can be so afraid of something they don't understand, and then choose to ignore something, choose to go outside of their own little comfort zone, to realize that being different, whether it's a different race, different religion, different sexual orientation, different neurotype, or whatever, isn't really wrong, for that matter. But for some reason, we have this mistaken notion that being different is wrong, for that matter, and that for some people, that we have to put down someone who's different from other people just in order to make themselves feel better, or just because they just don't know any better, for that matter. And that's just one of the things that I just wish that some people will just get over themselves as far as that goes. Gay marriage is here, and whether or not it passes, it's still gonna be here. So it's better for those Christian right people to just accept the fact that they're gonna lose eventually, and just give up while they still have their dignity left. You know, otherwise, there's not going to be a Christian right ever again in 20 years. Just like how we have no segregationists, no slave owners, no people who were against women's suffrage, or other little things. And it always seems to be the side that is against giving certain people's rights, for that matter, because of their own little ignorance, fear of something different, always loses in the end, for that matter. And so figuring this point, those gay marriage opponents are always going to lose as far as it goes. I mean, even though they won about 26 or 27 states to ban gay marriage there, but at some point, those bans are going to be overturned, whether they like it or not, because it violates the 14th Amendment, and maybe even the First Amendment, for that matter. So anyways, I guess that's it.